Hi, this is Bonnie. I wanted to go over last night's phone chat. We had a few good questions and I wanted to pass them along to you in case you missed the call. One of the questions was from Dawn Borders, and she was complaining about not feeling very well, maybe sluggish, wondering if this is going to be like a 4-week thing or if it was just something she was doing wrong. Basically, what we did is we looked at her food, and really she was eating not enough carbs and fats to really give her the energy she needed. She was actually eating really good, but almost too lean. For lunch, she had some turkey slices and some vegetables, maybe cucumbers or carrots, I believe. But anyway, that was just not enough to give her the energy she needed throughout the day. Midday, she ended up having some almonds and rice cakes, and she admitted that she felt better. So one thing I want to encourage you, a lot of times, you need to listen to your body. If your body does not feel good, if you're tired, lethargic, cranky, gripey, if your spouse says you're grumpy, a lot of times it has to do with the food you're eating. I know America is always kind of making you scared of carbs and fats, but the truth is we do need carbohydrates and we do need fats, the good fats. The problem is the majority of us are eating way too many calories, and we're still now malnourished because of the choices that we're actually eating. So what I want to encourage you to do is make sure that you're getting good balance when you're eating, that you're eating proteins, carbs, and fats together instead of only relying on a certain source for food. You're always burning carbs, fats, and protein, so you really need to be taking in carbs, fats, and protein. And then just the amount of carbs, fats, and proteins is going to determine, like I was saying on the phone, your weight loss is determined by calories in versus calories out. Your proteins, your fats, your carbs, your substrates, that is what dictates the way you're going to look. Calories in versus calories out is going to determine how many pounds you can lose if you're in a caloric deficit, or how many pounds you would gain if you're trying to gain weight. Believe it or not, there's those of you out there. Then the actual where you're getting those calories from is actually what determines the shape of your body and what you're going to lose. If you're going to lose proteins, or which is stored muscle, or if you're going to lose stored fat. So in order to prevent muscle loss, you really need to increase your protein, which we also addressed on the phone last night. If you were to do a equal split of a third of your calories coming from protein, a third coming from fat, and a third coming from carbs, you're looking at about, let's say a female diet would be, which was what we were discussing last night, 1,200 calorie diet, let's say, would be 100 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and 44 grams of fat, if you did the math. For a man, it would be boosted up. Protein would be more like 125 calories. This is for someone who's actually dieting on the kind of the industry standard diet. With someone that is trying to eat well or trying to lose weight, a lot of times people are tempted to skip the fats, go fat-free. They're trying to deprive themselves of carbs because they think carbs are bad, But the truth is, we do honestly need carbs to fuel our body. And what I want to kind of picture is that you actually would be having more carbs in the morning and kind of tapering them down at night. And then actually maybe having fewer proteins in the morning, and then kind of increasing them throughout the day. The reason for that is, and this is just a total general statement here that just is a little small tip, is that we need fuel to run. We need fuel to be alert at work. We need fuel for our workouts. The best source of fuel is carbohydrates. We need protein throughout the day. We do need protein so that we don't burn stored muscle, but we also need protein to repair and restore what we've been working on. So the best 2 times, which is what we discussed last night when we had some questions, to eat protein is right after a workout, within like a 30-40 minute window. And that particular shake, you want it to be a high glycemic, like a protein shake with just water and honey, something that sugar will kind of push that protein into the body really quickly. You can also do, like I use orange juice, something sugary based. All other times you want to actually slow down digestion so that you can absorb more of it. But after a workout, your body is really open to the protein, so you want to really try to cram that protein in there quickly, and the glucose helps push it in. So that would be the only time. Then other best time to have protein, besides right after a workout, is before you go to bed. So right before you go to bed, if you have a low-calorie protein shake, but maybe a little bit of peanut butter to kind of keep it in your system, slow down the process so that you absorb more of it throughout the night, kind of like an IV drip of protein. would be to have a protein shake before you go to sleep so that you're actually feeding your muscles while you're repairing at night, sleeping. So those are just some of the tips that we talked about last night. Another question that popped up that was from Wellington, Florida, about what to eat before a workout. Again, people need carbs before a workout. They need fuel. You need good fuel. If you have nothing but protein before you go to do a workout, you're probably not going to have a lot of energy. Carbs and a little bit of fat are really helpful. You can also have a really good balance, and a good balanced meal would be fine. But either way, you don't want to eat something probably any closer to 45 minutes away from your workout, so that you don't have it. You're not having a lot of your body energy trying to digest food, and not having the glucose everywhere else you need for the actual workout. You really want to be able to have most of that out of your system, or out of your stomach, so that you can have the energy through the workout and not feel yucky, not have a sick tummy. I would play around with a few things. This person was having oatmeal and just didn't agree with her. I do really well with oatmeal, and I use a little bit of like an olive oil butter. Some people do well with like whole grain, half of a whole grain hearty bagel with a little bit of peanut butter on it. That little bit of good fat, again, keeps you full longer. It also slows down. You want to stay away from really sugary, high processed foods. Cereals and cereal bars and stuff like that. They're so tempting to grab before you go out the door. But the problem is they really don't fuel you long. You know how a kid will have something sugary and they just fly and they get all excited and they're just bouncing off the walls, and then 15 minutes later they're crashed. That's what cereal is going to do to you. If it's a real high processed sugary cereal, you're going to feel great the first 15 or 20 minutes of boot camp, and then after that you're going to get out your puke bucket because you're not going to feel too shabby. So I would suggest playing around with your foods and making a note in your journal of how you felt today. I know, Dawn, if you had written in your journal yesterday, I felt like crap, I didn't have a lot of energy, and then you changed your diet and you see how good you feel on that day, you're going to see some patterns and you're going to learn from those. Remember, BCX is not about just training. The training is very hard and intense, but it's supposed to increase the value of a calorie so that you're a little bit more aware of what you're eating, because you're working so hard to burn 500 to 700 calories or whatever you're burning. And then all of a sudden, you're realizing once you're starting to track calories that you can blow that in 5 minutes if you're making poor choices. So the training is incredibly important because it's going to, reshape your body. It's going to make you feel good. You're going to be physically fit. But at the same time, you should be more aware about what you're eating, and how to take care of that body you're working so hard for. So think of BCX as more of a school. It's a 4-week learning process. You're not going to get it the first week. For you guys that are the first week here, there's a lot to still be learned. You're still learning how to do the workouts. You're still learning your body and how far to push yourself and how capable you are, probably beyond what you thought you were. You're going to be learning and gaining confidence. The other thing is you're going to be learning how many calories are in a quarter cup of rice or whatever. You're going to start being able to eyeball stuff and nail it, and knowing what is in that food for you as fuel, whether it's the grams of protein or how many calories it is. All in all, you're going to be learning your bank account, which is your body. You're going to be learning how to manage the checks and balances so you can get the most out of your this workout, this program, and to reach your goals. So those are just some really quick recap of what we talked about last night, some of the highlights. I will try to check back in with you guys. If you have any questions, shoot them out on the forum. I can't encourage you enough. Please do not be a closet dieter, a closet fitness person. When you hang out in the closet, there's nobody there. If you're hurt, nobody's going to be able to save you if they don't know you're there. So it's really important that you put yourself out there. I know it's scary if you're worried about failing, for everybody to know, oh my gosh, I'm doing this BCX boot camp, and they see you at a pizza joint, and then you realize you've got to, explain your way around that one. There's reasons that we are supposed to be out there. There's reasons that I'm encouraging you guys to be on the forums, and it's not for my benefit, it's for yours, so that people are holding you accountable. You're holding yourself accountable. You know you have to post your times in the forum. You know that you're going to be looked at and watched, whether it's by me or Bradley or any other BCX peeps that are awesome about encouraging one another. I can't encourage you enough to be out there. Get on Twitter, get on Facebook, get on the forums, be active. Do not be in the closet. Let's get out and let's live this and do this. We've got 3.5 more weeks to go, so let's rock it. And if you need anything at all, reach out to me on any of those networks, and I'll be there for you. That's what we're here for. Awesome. Have a great weekend and enjoy your last 2 missions for the week. Bye.